Growing up in the Bronx, NY, my public swimming pool was the nearest fire hydrant. Every summer, when the heat and humidity got unbearable, the city would open hydrants in its low-income neighborhoods for apartment house kids to cool off and have some fun. Our parents never had to worry about pool safety or keeping an eye on us. There was no deep end in our pool. No kid ever drowned running through a fire hydrant spray. All they did was have a blast. Later, we moved to the San Fernando Valley, the mecca of public and backyard pools. No one was turning on the fire hydrant for kids in Glendale. They were all going to Verdugo pool where for 50 cents, you got a towel, locker, and a chance to show off what muscles you thought you had while meeting girls. Or guys. We never swam, says Phyllis Braiotta, another East Coast transplant from the 1950s, an era where it seemed like half the country was moving west. We hung out with our friends and looked for guys. No one actually swam in the city's swimming pool because it was always packed, which was fine with me since I couldn't swim. I was a great sinker, though. All the lifeguards said so. There hasn't been any hanging out at public pools this summer because of the coronavirus. The pools sit eerily quiet and empty, unable to fulfill their function, as temperatures soar to 100. Maybe it's time, Mr. Mayor, to turn on the fire hydrants, like Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and New York City, with its Cool Streets program, is doing for their kids this summer of COVID-19. California's drought-free for the first time since 2011, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Our reservoirs are full so the water is available. Would we be wasting it by giving kids living in low-income neighborhoods the public pool I had growing up in the Bronx? Or should we save the water for our grass? Our firefighters do a great job protecting us during a fire, but we all know there's a lot of downtime in the job just waiting. When they're not on training exercises, couldn't some of that time be spent pushing back on the coronavirus for all the kids who don't have a backyard pool or the means to get to the beach? The fire department could take the lead and make sure the kids are social distancing and following all coronavirus protocols to keep them safe. I think it could work, but anything like this should be fully vetted first, of course, especially these days. If it's doable in New York City and Cedar Rapids, it's doable in Los Angeles. Yes, I know our water is precious and another drought might be just around the corner, but it's not here right now. The coronavirus is, and it has too many of our kids trapped inside staring at their machines. Couldn't we spare a little water to get them outside? You know, it wasn't that long ago that backyard pools put the San Fernando Valley on the map. They were our calling card that the blue-collar, middle class had arrived.